I'm back at it again with another Pokemon Unite video. Today we're gonna head on over to the practice range to explain what Zeraora's Spark ability does, as well as some tips and strategies with it. If you haven't seen my video on some practice range tips, you might want to go ahead and give that video a shot. I'll link it in the description of this video, as well as with my first Zeraora guide. So Spark is a very interesting ability for Zeraora. Right now, a lot of people are going for Volt Switch. And I think one of the reasons for that is because not many people understand how Spark works. And I was actually one of those people. I thought that Spark also didn't do any damage at all whatsoever, and it didn't have any utility. So I always went for Volt Switch for that specific reason. Well, I am here to tell you guys that is not the case. Spark is very, very helpful. And I'm going to be giving you guys a bit of a guide on some of the things that you need to keep in mind when it comes down to Spark. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the damage that Spark is going to be doing. I didn't know that you did a lot of damage with this jump right here. In fact, at one point I thought that this move did no damage at all whatsoever. It was just for mobility. And as you guys can see, the Spark jumps are going to be doing damage. Not 918 every time, because remember, I'm level 7, right? Damage scales with levels and items and stuff like that. But you are going to be able to do some damage. Okay, so this is something that I see a lot of people do a lot of the time with Spark, right? They're going into a fight and then they're going to do this, right? Like, they're just going to do those jumps around and, you know, we're going to get 918 damage, right? We got some pretty good DPS right there. But ideally, that's not really how you want to use Spark, or, you know, maybe you could use it like that here and there against a wild Pokemon. This is how you want to use Spark. You know, the Spark move says that if you do a basic attack before reaching the target, you're going to do damage, but that's the part that not many people get. So I'm here to explain to you guys how that is done. Let's actually turn off cooldowns. I'm going to use Spark, and as soon as Zeraora jumps, or Zeraora, I'm sorry, I like to say Zeraora, right? Don't bully me. As soon as Zeraora jumps, we're going to be pressing the basic attack buttons like this. Like that. So that was 1.2k damage. And again, you know, damage numbers depend on the situation and the level and the items and stuff like that. But that 1k damage is way better than this right here. This 300 damage that I just did. So what is the strategy with Spark? Well, you can spam it if you like, but ideally, you know, a nice Spark encounter is gonna go something like this. 1, 2, and 3. That is a lot of damage right there. Not even Flex Tape can fix that damage. Additionally, of course, another thing that you can do during your Spark encounters, you can go ahead and initialize it with a Spark, and then the discharge, and then the other 2 more Sparks, for a total of 6,000 damage or so. Again, level damage, item damage, you know, goes into consideration and stuff like that. But the point is, discharge is a very, very good move to combo with Spark. I'm not going to be going super into discharge and wild charge when we're using Spark though, because that's a video for another day. I just want to solely focus on Spark. There's a couple of more things that you can do with Spark, like for example, reaching the target even though you're not in range. That's another tip that I want to mention with this move. So this right here isn't going to be the actual range that you can hit someone with the Spark move. This is just going to be the range for the jump, right? As you guys can see, if I were to do it, if I were to do Spark a little bit away from the target, I can actually reach the target before I even quote-unquote get to it after the jump right here, as you guys can see. So if you want to maximize Spark with Zeraora, or Zeraora as I like to say, you want to make sure that you are going for the basic attack as soon as you do the move. Let's talk about another tip that I just did right there. If there's an enemy right here by this, actually let's just say that this is the enemy, right? I'm heading towards the enemy in this direction. If the enemy is a Slowbro, right? With Slowbro, I like to do vertical movements like this because I know they're always going to be using Surf no matter what for the most part. I see the Slowbro. I'm heading towards him. I'm not going to jump right towards him. I'm going to do this. I'm going to jump towards the right, and then I'm going to hit him with Spark. He's going to waste his Surf, most likely. Or he's going to waste his Telekinesis because I bamboozled him. Alright, as you guys know, I love bamboozling people. If you watch my, other guides, you know I like to use that word. And I like to give you guys some strategies for bamboozling people. So, that is something that you need to know about Spark. Now, last but not least, right? If you have Spark Plus in the late game, right? You want to make sure that you're always doing this attack as much as possible, right? And the reason for that is, it's because every time that you do this little Spark attack, you're going to be getting some health regeneration, which is very, very helpful as well. Alright, let's move on forward to another tip with Spark. Combat. As you guys saw right there, on that first combat scene, I sort of did this. 1, 2, and 3, right? Sometimes when I'm using Spark, I want to make sure that I'm not really going sort of back and forward. I'm also moving vertically. So, like so. And like that. As you guys can see, on the last hit, I actually went away towards the enemy. But if you press the basic attack button fast enough, you are actually going to be able to bamboozle the enemy and go back to him. And of course, there are some melee characters that might not be able to hit you after you're like pretty far away from them because of your Spark ability. So that's my Zeraora guide, or my Zeraora guide for Spark. If you guys liked this video of Spark explained, feel free to give it a like. And yes, I'm going to be making more guides on Zeraora. It's my favorite mythical Pokemon. See you guys in the next one. Peace.